Hey guys, it's Drabble here, and welcome back to another Pokemon unboxing video where we're going to do a slightly bigger box than we did last time. So, given how this box was packaged last time, I'm going to assume that we might accidentally be spoiled at least 2 cards. Or not. Okay, so they're packaged both like this. I'm going to open the smaller one first, hoping to not see the bottom. I might have seen like the bottom of this one because I think it's an energy card. So I definitely didn't see the bottom of this one, but I think it's like a Pokemon card. But I think I saw the bottom of this one, which I think is an energy card. So I'm just going to, as soon as I open this up, I'm going to open it. Just look at that one. Okay. And I was right, it was an energy card. I just saw a gigantic circle and purple, so I was like, this is probably an energy card. So I was right in that way. I know the bottom of this one is a Pokemon card since it had like the standard layout, but I didn't read or see exactly what it was. So I'm going to keep that one hidden from me for now. But since we have that one out of the way, I'm going to do our standard flipping for all the other ones. So next, we have a Tatsugiri. I have no clue what that is. It looks kind of like a whale, but it says it's like a mimicry Pokemon. Alright, Tatsugiri is an extremely cunning Pokemon. It feigns weakness to lure and prey, and orders its partner to attack. So there are usually like 2 of them at one time. It's also one of the very few dragon types I have. Yeah, I have no clue what this is. Or what it could pretend to be. Like the real world equivalency, I suppose it's a better way of saying it. Alright, next card is a Goltergeist. I definitely have the de-evolution of this one. It's one of my Halloween types, as I call them. It's a little jack-o'-lantern. It looks more like a jack-o'-lantern, half turtle with flaming hair. That's kind of what it looks like to me. Alright. In the darkness of a new moon night, Gorecast will come knocking. Whoever answers the door will be swept off. Supposed to be swept off into the afterlife. So don't open doors on full moons. Although I am loving the evolution. Kind of hoping there's one more evolution of this type of Pokemon just because I want to see how far it goes. I think most of the ghosts that I remember off the top of my head usually have 3. So maybe this one. Alright, next. Trubbish, which is, I'm guessing, another garbage Pokemon type that eats all the garbage. So it is a trash bag Pokemon. That's actually kind of hilarious. But it's like 2 feet tall, but 68 pounds. Its favorite places are unsanitary ones. If you leave trash lying around, you could even find one of these Pokemon living in your room. Yeah, so that Pokemon is living in a hoarder's house. I mainly know that because I'm watching the newest season. That is on Hulu. But in my defense, I watch hoarders while cleaning and not thinking that it could be worse. I do know I have hoarding tendencies and then working on it. Alright, next. We have a little. I don't know what to make of that one. Kinda like I don't know. So there's a frill, but I guess it kind of has like the ruffles and whatnot. It spends its time running around wastelands. If anyone steals its beloved berries, it will chase them down and exact its revenge. I mean, understandable. Alright, I had to leave real quick, but I am back. With the next card, which is a Charcadet. I think so far most of these Pokemon that we've seen so far today, I have no clue what they are. So this is called a Fire Child Pokemon, and burnt charcoal came to life and became a Pokemon. Possessing a fiery fighting spirit, Charcadet will battle even tough opponents. Can you even tell? I guess I can sort of see the charcoalness of it. But like other than that, I can barely tell what it's supposed to be. Right, next we have a Remoraid. I do remember getting this particular card before. Using its dorsal fin as a suction pad, it clings to a manatee's underside to scavenge for leftovers. So yeah, one of the, I think, forget the exact name of it, but it's a symbiotic. There's definitely fish that have a symbiotic relationship with like larger mammals such as whales to eat leftovers. So what is it still considered a scavenger since it doesn't find dead leftovers? I don't remember. But our next Pokemon is Loudreed, and I definitely remember getting the de-evolution Wimser a previous time. Yeah, Wimser. So the other one whispers, and this is a loud voice Pokemon. Love it. The force of this Pokemon's loud voice isn't just a sound. It's also the wave of pressure that blows opponents away and damages them. I guess that makes sense. But this one's also if you don't hear a tree fall, doesn't make a sound Pokemon. But yeah, so probably like a bat almost, maybe with its screeching. That's kind of how it works, except I guess this screeching hurts. Maybe. Right, next we have a Horsey. I think we have this art style before. I'm not too sure actually. They swim with dance-like motions and cause whirlpools to form. Horsies compete to see which of them can generate the biggest whirlpool, which honestly is just kids having fun at a pool. If you can't make the biggest splash at someone, is there really any point of going to the pool? Next, we have a Joltik, which is another bug-like Pokemon. I think we had this one before as well. But Joltik latch onto other Pokemon and suck out static electricity. They're often found sticking to Yamper's hindquarters. So kind of like a parasitic, or maybe not even parasitic if it's helping. Um, a symbiotic relationship type. Alright, next we have Villanux. It says it's a snowstorm Pokemon, but I think it is an ice cream Pokemon, and that the card is lying to us because it clearly looks like ice cream. And I will not take these lies lying down. Alright, people believe this Pokemon formed when two vanilla stuck together. Its body temperature is roughly 21 degrees Fahrenheit. So, like 10 degrees below freezing. So maybe like maybe -10 at most Celsius. I'm terrible at converting in my head, but like in a lab setting, I'm like super quick with it. But everywhere else, not at all. Alright, next we have a Dottler. I think I also got this one last time. Not too sure. It's rememberable, but I'm not sure. Let's see. As it grows inside its shell, it uses its psychic abilities to wander the outside world and prepare for evolution. Yeah, that summary sounds familiar. So quite possibly. Alright, next we have a Nextacker, which is a rock salt Pokemon. I don't know if anyone else sees this, but it kind of gives the Minecraft um mob um shape. Like that's what I immediately thought. It's like a bunch of like blocks stuck together. It just reminds me of just Minecraft mobs in general. It's not like a particular one that I'm seeing. Maybe just little skeleton just from like the what I'm assuming to be the facial shape. But that's kind of what I'm seeing. So I think I'm gonna go with it. Alright, this Pokemon dry curs its prey by spraying salt over them. The curing process steals away the water in the prey's body. That sounds a bit scary. We'll go with it. Alright, next we have Snorunt, which is another snow Pokemon. But yeah, I definitely see the snow hatness. Like, does it wear a snow hat or is a snow hat? I'm going with the second. Alright. It is said that several Snorunt gather under the giant leaves and live together in harmony. That's sweet. I'm also like just analyzing the picture. Just like really cozy, even though I imagine it to be freezing. It's just a really cozy looking picture. Alright, next we have. Ew, this is one I've never heard of before. A Slitherwing, and it's like an ancient type. It's interesting looking. It's called a Paradox Pokemon. Okay, the mysterious Pokemon has some similarities to a creature that an old book introduced as Slitherwing. So does this mean that it doesn't know whether they're the same thing, or maybe they're just similar enough that we're considering it the same thing? But its moves are fairly interesting. Its first move, Stomp Off, is discard the top card of your opponent's deck. And then the other one is Burning Turbulence. This Pokemon also does 90 damage to itself. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now burned. Which means you can only essentially use this once without the Pokemon dying. I guess that is somewhat of a paradox. Seems pretty strong, but it accidentally kills itself. Interesting. Alright, but the next Pokemon is Durant, which is an iron ant. Can definitely see the antness from the picture. With their large mandibles, these Pokemon can crunch their way through rock. They work together to protect their eggs from Sandaconda. That sounds familiar, but I'm not sure where I've heard it before. Maybe I've had this Pokemon before, or like Sandaconda before. It does sound familiar, but I'm not too sure. Alright, next we have a Gothica. Yeah, okay, she's adorable. Can't tell what she is. It says it's a fixation Pokemon. But given one of its attacks can cause confused, maybe. Right. This Pokemon is normally very innocent. When it is staring at something invisible, it is unblinking and utterly silent. Oh, so it can see invisible things, so Maybe it just usually talks unless it's asleep, and if it stops talking, you know someone is spying on you. That's kind of useful, actually. Alright, next we have, Clefairy. I don't think I have one of these yet. But it's a bunch of them hanging out, one trying to spook you off into the right corner, saying hi. So I'm guessing the picture has to do with its ability, which is once during your turn, if this Pokemon is the active spot for each of your bench Clefairy, you may search your deck for a Psychic Energy card and attach it to that Clefairy. Then shuffle your deck. So that is the Moon Watching Party. And the overall description is, it can be found in quiet mountain areas on a full moon's night. Its dancing and its tiny, faintly glowing wings confer upon its lovely fairy-like quality. Yes. I've gotten a lot of, well, probably not a lot of, but a lot of psychic cards today. I mean, starting with I think this is the first psychic energy card we've actually gotten today. So that is also cool. Alright, next card is Dusclops, which looks kind of like a golem. And is this like a Pokemon? Not a Pokemon, a Pikachu pumpkin? I wonder what that's for. It's adorable though. Its body is entirely hollow. When it opens its mouth, it sucks everything in as if it were a black hole. So it thinks it's Kirby. You're a little bit too ghost-like to be a Kirby, but you think you're a Kirby. Alright, next we have Natu, which is another bird with something behind it. I have no clue what that is behind it. Maybe like a... Oh no, it's a trainer. It's the Natu sitting on the trainer's shoulder. That's what it is. Okay, there we go. It is extremely good at climbing tree trunks and likes to eat the new sprouts on the trees. Simple, straight to the point. Love it. Alright, next we have a Chinmichu. It says it's a wind chime, which I can definitely see. It's really cute. Its face is cute, and then it has like a really long tail. Right, emitting ultrasonic cries, it floats on wind to travel great distances. Okay. Yeah. That's adorable. So next card we have a Plusly, which I'm guessing is the positive charged Pikachu. I do know there is a -1 that might be minusly. That is blue. Let's see. It's called a cheering Pokemon. Interesting. It absorbs electricity from telephone poles. It shorts out its body to create crackling noises. Nice. Alright, next card is a Cutiefly, which is a bee-fly Pokemon. I definitely see more of like the fly than bee, but I love it either way. But again, more psychic. I've been getting lots of psychic type in this bundle. An opponent's aura can tell Cutiefly what that opponent's next move will be. Then Cutiefly will glide around the attack and strike back. Oh, that's always... I mean, I guess it has to. It only has 30 health. If it doesn't, it... Ooh, that'd be really sad. Alright, next we have a Hisuian Zora, which is a spiteful fox. Definitely gives the spirit energy type. I guess this is like the one from that particular Husian region. I know I am mispronouncing that, but we'll have fun. Alright, a once departed soul returned to life in Tizu derives power from resentment, which rises as its energy atop its head and takes on the forms of foes. In this way, Zora vents lingering malice. Yeah, I think lots of like the ghost type Pokemon have like dark backstories, so that actually does not surprise me one bit. But I wonder if it's just that way because of where it died or how it died, because I have noticed that thing about some of the ghost slash psychic Pokemon types. Alright, next we have a Inkay, which is known as a revolving Pokemon, but I would probably more so go with Squid, but probably not a Squid because it's not a water type, interestingly enough. Alright, it spins while making its luminescent spots flash. These spots allow it to communicate with others by different patterns of light. Okay, so like a lightning bug. A lightning bug that looks like a squid that flies out of water. Yes, this makes lots of sense. Alright, next card we have Polosund, which is the evolution of Sandy Gas, which I do remember we got last time. Again, probably a psychic type because it was a dead something or other that decided to possess a sandcastle. Let's see. The terrifying hollow sand drags smaller Pokemon into its sandy body. Once its victims are trapped, it drains them from their vitality whenever it pleases. Oh, that's horrifying. I guess we should just name this deck the Halloween type deck. Because all of these are just horrifying. Alright, next card. Ooh, we have another Gothica. I really love her character design. Alright, same description, so we'll move on. Next, we have a Skiploom. Skiploom. If I can pronounce that correctly. Looks like Dumbo with a flower on its head, but it's considered a cottonweed Pokemon. Okay, Skiploom enthusiasts can apparently tell where a Skiploom was born by the scent drifting from the flower of the Pokemon's head. I could totally see something like that happening if you were into herbology or whatever it would be called in the Pokemon universe. But that would take too much remembering what stuff smells like and could not be me. But either way, the next card we have a tarantula. Yeah, probably. Cute little spider type. Can't tell what that thing is on the edge though. Might be a baby. I can't tell. But it's considered a string ball Pokemon. The ball of threads wrapped around its body is elastic enough to deflect the scathes of Skyther, this Pokemon's natural enemy. We have some natural enemies. That's good to know. Although, how big is this? So this says it's either a foot or an inch. Because I never remember. It's a foot. Skyler always reminds me of something that's way too big to need to only eat something that small. Maybe I need a Skyler card to like actually figure out how tall it is. Because I'm not too sure. Alright. Next, A Snubbull. I love these things. They look so grumpy, but so cute at the same time. In contrast to his appearance, is quite timid. When playing with other puppy Pokemon, it sometimes gets bullied. Oh, no. But yeah, no. The puppy Pokemons are some of my favorite. They're just so cute. Alright, next we have a Tinkatink. Definitely remember having one of these. I think just like a different type though. Different art style. It swings its handmade hammer around to protect itself, but the hammer is often stolen by Pokemon that eat metal. Oh, poor baby. Alright, next card is a Skably, which this looks super creepy, which makes it the best, honestly. So it's considered a darkness Pokemon, even though it is not a dark type. Right, it feeds on gemstone crystals, and darkness its eyes sparkle with the glitter of jewels. Yeah, I can't. It's like a creepy possessed plushie. That is what it reminds me of. A creepy possessed plushie. Alright, next card. We have a Shellder, which I have actually been looking for a while since I have like Cloyster. It looks like a derpy puppy with its tongue out. It is encased in a shell that is harder than diamond. Inside, however, is surprisingly tender. That sounds weird. Sounds like you're trying to eat it. That makes me feel bad. As someone who has done research on oysters before, I will never eat them. It's really gross. Alright, next card. We have another Magmar. And its head just always is weird to me. These Pokemon's bodies are constantly burning. Magmar are feared as one of the causes behind fires. No, let's stop pretending that it is them when it is clearly these awful Pokemon trainers that don't put their fires out. We're not blaming Magmar for the deeds of humans. Alright, next we have a Pinico. I think I got an evolution of this last time. It's like, looks like a pine cone hidden within itself. It's really interesting looking. Alright, it likes to make its shell thicker by adding layers of tree bark. The additional weight doesn't bother it. I would hope not. Although it is probably very good at camouflaging. Alright, next card. We have another Tarantula. The string Pokemon. Alright. Next, we have another Heracross. I think I got 2 of these in the very first batch I opened. It loves sweet nectar. To keep all the nectar to itself, it hurls rivals away with its prized horn. I mean, I 100% respect that. No one else can have my honey. Alright, next card, we have Graveler. Yeah, reading the description real quick, I'm just like, yeah, this one was the one with the slightly horrific description of it travels by rolling down cliffs. If it falls into a river, it will explode with its last gasp. Alright, next we have a Primate. So I think we're done with this evolution now as well. A pig monkey type. Alright, it becomes wildly furious if it even senses someone looking at it. It chases anyone it meets that meets its glare. Okay, that just sounds like an Enderman. Just don't look at it. if you don't want it to attack you if you don't have a bucket of water. Yeah, that's just giving me all types of Enderman vibes. Next, we have another Raticate. Such a cutie. Its whiskers are essential for maintaining its balance. No matter how friendly you are, it will get angry and bite you if you touch its whiskers. Mice are the exact same way, at least in my opinion. Right, next card. A Nidorina. This one looks like AR, like the AR art style. Alright, if the group is threatened, these Pokemon will band together to assault enemies with a chorus of ultrasonic waves. Yes. Alright, next. Ooh, Bellsprout. I think this is the last one we needed to finish this entire evolutionary cycle as well. So we finished a couple today, I believe. Its bud looks like a human face. Because of the bud, it is rumored to be a type of legendary mandrake plant. Interesting. And this is also a flower Pokemon rather than the flycatcher type. So I guess it evolves into the flycatcher type, I suppose. Interesting. Alright, next card. We have a Victory Bell. And I think we can, yeah, this one's the flycatcher type Pokemon. I don't know if you could read that, but it says it. Once ingested into these Pokemon's body, even the hardest object will melt into nothing. Alright, next, we have another Growlithe. The best of the puppy types. It is brave and trustworthy. It has a brave and trustworthy nature. It fearlessly stands up to bigger and stronger foes. Nice. Next, I have a Slowpoke. Just lying there, being derpy. It is incredibly slow and dopey. It takes 5 seconds for it to feel pain when under attack. Which is just hilarious to me. Alright, next. Hey, you have Bulbasaur. I think this is our second starter that we've gotten. Second of the main starters. So now we just need Charmander. And we have the first 3 RPG starters. Technically, I consider Pikachu a starter, but we still need Pikachu. So 50%. Alright, so this is Seed Pokemon. While it's young, it uses the nutrients that are stored in the seed on its back in order to grow. Lovely. Right. Just slowly filling out my first binder page. I am happy about that. And this is Drowsy, the creepy gremlin pig elephant thingy. It remembers every dream it eats. It rarely eats the dreams of adults because children are much tastier. I think that was sort of the plot of Rise of the Guardians with Nightmare. He only really attacked children because who cares about adult dreams? Alright, next card. Okay, we have a fighting energy type. Next card, water energy type. I think this just put all the energies at the bottom. Right, next card, grass type. And the next one is another grass type. So that is, so of that we got 5 energies and a whole bunch of Pokemon cards. So I'm going to open the next half, keeping myself from seeing it again. Yeah, here's the tape. Yep. I'm here to do this. Um, Why can I not open this? I might have. Oh my gosh, this is a struggle. I don't have. Oh, there we go. I was about to say I don't have my scissors over here. Alright, so finally got that opened, and I feel specialty set in here as well, so this is probably our special type. But luckily I have not been able to see them yet. So we'll move on to this deck, and then we'll last do this specialty. Alright, so the next card. Ooh, this is creepy looking. A Scarab? It's really creepy looking. I love it. It is called a mock kelp type. It drifts in the ocean, blending in with floating seaweed. When other Pokemon come to feast on the seaweed, kelp feast on them instead. Oh, that is terrifying. It also looks kind of like a puppy, though. Alright, next card. A Grubbin. That is adorable. Alright, it's a larva, so there's probably 2 more evolutions. It uses its big jaws to dig nests in the forest floor and loves to feed on sweet tree sap. Interestingly, it can energize using electricity type. That's interesting. That's one I've never heard of. I have to look deeper into that one. Alright, next. Ooh, an energy search card. Search your deck for a basic energy card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Cool. Next. A Salandit? Really like dark and eerie, at least the art style is. Call it Toxic Lizard. Interesting. Its venom sacs produce a fluid that this Pokemon then heats up with flame in its tail. This process creates Salandit's poisonous gas. Interesting. It's also interesting that it's a flame type instead of, like, I think poisons types are usually psychic or dark. Interesting. Alright, next card we have Oddish, our favorite little radish. If exposed to moonlight, it starts to move. It roams far and wide at night to scatter its seeds. Right, next we have a Lodisk, the heart. The heartfish Pokemon. Lodisk makes its home in coral reefs and warm seas. It especially likes sleeping in the space between coral branches. Yeah, we've had a couple of those before as well, if I remember correctly. Next. Ooh, a Purloin. A devious Pokemon. Doing what cats do best. Working hard on your computer. That's actually adorable. It steals things from people just to amuse itself with their frustration. A rivalry exists between this Pokemon and Nixit. I guess the main question is also, does it push things off of the side of counters just to see the world burn? Because if so, then it is truly a cat. Yep. Alright, next card. We have a Giraffe. Oh, it's a palindrome. It's the giraffe type we mentioned last time with the chompy on its tail. I think this is a different art style. Uh, its tail has a small brain of its own. Beware, and if you get close, it might react to your scent by biting. I mean, the description sounds familiar, but I don't really recognize the art style. Hopefully it's different if I don't recognize it. If not, my brain is slowly crapping out, and I 100% understand. Alright, next we have a carnivine. I think we got this one a little bit ago. It binds itself to trees and marshes. It attracts prey with a sweet-smelling drool and gulps them down. So similar to the Victory Bell. Alright, next we have a Salazzle, which is the evolution of Scaladent. Although with this picture, I definitely get why it's a fire type now. The first one, not so much, but this one, definitely. Only female Salazzles exist. They emit a gas laden with pheromones to captivate male Saladent. I wonder if it's kind of like praying mantis, where where adult males technically exist, but they don't exist for long. That would be kind of cool if that were true. Alright, next we have an energy switch. Move a basic energy from one of your Pokemon to another of your Pokemon. Yep, that sounds kind of like what I thought it would do. Right, next we have a Metang, which I think we got one of these earlier. Mainly because I just don't know how this exists. Because of the description. Two Beldum have become stuck together via their own magnetic forces. With two brains, the resulting Metang has doubled psychic power. Alright, next card, we have a Yanma, which is a dragonfly type. It says it's a clear wing, but we all know better. If it flaps its wings really fast, it can generate shockwaves that will shatter windows in the area. Y'all are doing too much. Ugh, that sounds awful, actually. Oh well. Alright, so next card, we have a Pawninard, which kind of looks like a little shy guy with knives all over. That's all I'm really getting from it, at least currently. It uses river stones to maintain the cutting edges of the blades covering its body. These sharpened blades allow it to bring down opponents. And it's simply a sharp blade Pokemon. Lovely. Alright, next card. A Chatot. I believe we've got this one a couple of times. It can learn and speak human words. If they gather, they all learn the same saying. So yeah, our parrots again. Alright, next card. A Wailmer. I think I got its evolution before. But now I have, I think, both of the whales. This is a ball whale. I don't think that's a type, it's just probably a real type of whale, probably just denoting how round it is. It shows off by spraying jets of seawater from its nostril above its eyes. It eats a solid ton of wishy-washy every day. I'm guessing that's the Pokemon version of Krill? Wishy-washy? Cool. Okay, next card. We have a Pawninard, but a different type. This is more of like an AR art style. But with this one, it actually has the same description as last time, so I'm going to move on. Alright, next card, we have a Larvesta. which looks like a cat hiding in a chimney. That's exactly what it looks like, a cat hiding in the chimney. But it's called a torch Pokemon. The people of ancient times believed that Larvesta fell from the sun. I still think cat more than sun, but we'll go with it. Alright, next card. We have a Shinx. I believe we got this one previous time, if not last time. All of its fur dazzles if danger is sensed. It flees while the foe is momentarily blinded. Good cat. Alright, next we have trekking shoes. This looks like the Kirby double, like where you have where it's like a multiplayer Kirby game where like the second player has like Waddle Dee, I think, and that person's supposed to draw lines for Kirby to go on. This reminds me of that art style. I think it's definitely very much like a Kirby art style. Alright, look at the top card of your deck. You may put that card into your hand. If you don't, discard that card and draw a card. Interesting. Don't really know how that would be used well, but maybe if you just get a sucky card. Alright, next we have a Galarian Meowth. So a purple Meowth. I would probably consider this a Halloween type, but we'll have to see what it does. Living with the savage, seafaring people has toughened this Pokemon's body so much that parts of it have turned to iron. That is actually, oh yeah, it is a metal type, but wow, that is actually slightly terrifying. Yes, I would definitely consider this part of my Halloween type roster. Alright, next we have a rescue carrier. Again, with that Kirby art style. Put up to 2 Pokemon with 90 HP or less from your discard pile into your hand. So it heals Down's Pokemon. Okay. That's cool. Alright, next we have Lunaton, which is half moon, half bird. I'm going more towards duck, but that is definitely the feeling I get. It's considered a meteorite Pokemon. The phase of the moon apparently has some effect on its power. It's active on the night of a full moon. And that sounds right for most moon things and most lore. Full moon is where everything's at its highest power usually. Alright, next card is a Bisharp, which is the evolution for Pawninard. But it doesn't look as sharp as its de-evolution. It's accompanied by a large retinue of Pawninard. Does that mean like a herd? Bisharp keeps a keen eye on its minions, ensuring none of them even think of double-crossing it. Okay, so yeah, it has its little flock of Pawninard. But it does look less sharp. Interesting. Right, next card. Ooh, we have an actual Pokeball. Wasn't sure if we would actually have one of those as an actual item. Flip a coin. If heads, search your deck for a Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. If you get tails, sucks to suck. Alright, next card. We have a Pinurchin, which is half sea urchin, half puppy face. It feeds on seaweed, using its teeth to scrape it off rocks. Electric current flows from the tips of its spines. Oh yeah, it is like slightly glowing. I don't know if you guys could see that, but yeah, like the pins are like glowing. Interesting. Alright, next card. We have another Pawnyard. So we'll move on. Next. Ooh, a cornfish? Cornfish. Kind of looks like a crabby. Easy. Okay, no matter how dirty the water in the river, it will adapt and thrive. It has a strong will to survive. Yeah, it looks like a crabby. Be interesting if they were anyhow related. It's called a ruffian Pokemon. Almost as if it's trying to fight. Alright, next. Another Sphinx. Really adorable. Oh, this one has a different description, so I'll read it. This Pokemon generates electricity by contracting its muscles. Excited trembling is a sign that Shinx is generating a tremendous amount of electricity. Nice. Right, next card, we have another Wailmer. The same description, so we're going to move on. Next, ooh, a Baltoy. Looks like another one of those ancient Pokemon. This is a clay doll Pokemon. Right, it was discovered in ancient ruins. While moving, it constantly spins. It stands on one foot even when asleep. Well, is it one foot or its only foot? Kind of looks like it only has one and then two arms. Alright, let's move on. Alright, so next card is Tangela, which is one of the cutest Pokemon in my opinion, even though we can't see it. Hidden beneath a tangle of vines that grows nonstop even though the vines are torn off, this Pokemon's true appearance remains a mystery. Right, next we have a Rockruff, which we have howling at the moon. See, this Pokemon can bond very strongly with his trainer, but it also has a habit of biting. Raising a Rockruff for a long time can be challenging. Well, hopefully no one abandons it. That sounds awful. Like, that's what that is leading me to think. If someone doesn't want to work hard to take care of it, they just abandon it. That's really sad. We're moving on before it gets sadder. Next card, you have another Bisharp. Again, doesn't look very sharp. Right, next card, we have a Pokemon catcher, which looks like that thing from X-Men Apocalypse that pretty much made every mutant pass out. Flip a coin. If heads, switch one of your Pokemon's benched Pokemon with their active Pokemon. Wait, switch your opponent's benchmark Pokemon with their active Pokemon, and if you get Tails, it sucks to suck. That's what they really should add. If Tails sucks to suck. Alright, next. Ooh, we have a rare candy. Choose one of your basic Pokemon and play. If you have a Stage 2 card in your hand that evolves from that Pokemon, put that card onto the basic Pokemon to evolve it, skipping the Stage 1. You can't use this card during your first turn or on a basic Pokemon that was put into play this turn. So it just lets you skip an evolution. That's nice. Alright, next we have another Pinurchin. Same description. Yeah, same description as before, so we'll continue moving. Next, we have another Pokemon catcher. Next, we have, energy retrieval, which looks like one of those claw grabbing games. Put up to 2 basic energy cards from your discard pile into your hand. Alright, next card. We have another one of those metal meows. Next card, we have another Pawniard. We have so many of these. today. Next, another Yanma, or the dragonfly type, as I mentioned earlier. Next, another Chatot. Right, next, Love Disc. Right, next, another Purloin. Next, we have another Psychic Energy. Next, Psychic Energy. Next, Metal Energy. Next, Electricity Energy. And lastly, another Psychic Energy. So we got tons of Psychic Energy this time. And last but not least, we have this little stack, which I'm assuming are our specialty cards. Great. Alright, this last little bit. Maybe 10 cards, I think. But let's do this. So our next card is a Togetic. Oh, this is one of my favorites. Next, we just need to work on getting Togepi. Oh, I love her. Great, they say that it will appear before kind-hearted, caring people and shower them with happiness. Oh, it's a happiness Pokemon. Yeah, we definitely need to get Togepi, and I will be in love. Alright, next we have a special type, Pedatil. We have a bunch of these, but this is the first hollow type we have, I think. Alright, next. A Crystal Cave, which is a type of stadium. Yeah. Once during each player's turn, that player may heal 30 damage from each of their Metal Pokemon and Dragon Pokemon. Interesting. So that's the first stadium we've gotten since, I think, our first unboxing. Alright, next card, we have Galvanthia, which is the evolution of Joltex, which we've gotten a couple times. Nice. It launches electrified fur from its abdomen as means of attack. Opponents hit by the fur could be in for 3 full days and nights of paralysis. Lovely. But it's a Lex spider. So I guess Joltik is a baby spider, and this is the adult version. Lovely. Alright, next we have our Stable Eye, aka Plushie of Evil and Darkness. That's definitely, this one has less Plushie vibe and more Gremlin/Imp vibe. Oh, but we do have a new description. It digs through the ground with its hard claws and crunches down gems with its thick pointed teeth. Carbink is its favorite food. Interesting. This also has like a different shininess pattern than we've seen before. Alright, next card we have Machoke. I don't remember if we have this one before. Yeah, just staring off into the dark depth of the mountain, I suppose. A sturdy creature boasting a robust physique and boundless stamina, loves training above all else and voluntarily assists with tasks such as construction and clearing land. Well, we always need a helping hand. Alright, next we have a Relicanth. I think we've had this one before, but not like this shiny type. See. Rock heart scales and oil-filled swim bladder has allowed this Pokemon to survive the intense water pressure of the deep sea. Yeah, that sounds familiar. Alright, next card. Ooh. A Zamazenta. This one is new to me. Looks kind of like a lion. Alright. This doesn't really have a description of what it is, just that it's 2 points. And that you get 2 of my cards, which you are most definitely not doing. Alright, but next card, we have a Noivern, which is the evolution of a Noibat, which I think we got before. But yeah, that one looks quite vicious. Very vicious. Yeah, this one doesn't really say what it is, just that if you supposedly beat this, you get 2 of my cards, which again is not happening. But last but not least, our last card of the day, we have Iron Treads. It says future. So I guess this is probably like a futuristic Pokemon, maybe part androidy or something. Maybe, I can't really tell. This is another one that's trying to get people to take my cards, which is not happening. But yeah, so that is the end of this box today. I will definitely need to buy more packs because I've been very much enjoying this, even if most of it's just flipping and looking at them, putting in my binders. Ooh, I need to buy another binder actually. My current one is actually getting full as I'm trying to put it in Pokedex order, so I need another one. So we got a stadium, a bunch of energies today, mainly the psychic, a bunch of new items that we have not seen before. And then we also have a gigantic stack of new Pokemon. Well, some of them are new, some of them are different art styles, and some of them are repeats. But I can definitely find somewhere for all these to go in my binder. But yeah, no. There wasn't a lot of learning this time, as there was last time. I blame how late at night it is, but who really knows? But I will be working towards getting these back into my big binder of everything and awesomeness. But I will see you guys later with another video at some point. Bye!